What's going on, YouTube? I got Gothy here, and she's going to show us her account progress. She reached out to me after we did my previous account interview with Ark, and I think she has a lot of great info for y'all. Gothy, please let us know, introduce yourself, and can't wait to see what you have for it.
Hello. I'm Gothy. I've been around the Epic 7 community since the game's origin, I guess you could say, back in 2018. Back in the dark ages where they forced you to change your name at 1-4, if anybody remembers that. Um, um, when the origin update came out, I wanted to see what the new player experience was like,
Mm-hmm.
and in a similar fashion to Ark, but not in a similar fashion, I decided to just go full throttle, and I nuked my previous account. Um, I was just like, you know what, we're committing to this, and I, as people will probably think I'm nuts when I say this, but I lost Moonlight Luna, I lost Hersetti, all of those and everything, but there's silver lining. Um, and I wanted to experience the new player experience
Yeah.
from a fresh standpoint, because there's little caveats to prior that I had never been able to accomplish. And like I had never been able to accomplish a story fully, because I just never pushed story and everything.
Okay, so even though you had a
And
previous account, this is like a lot of this is still new, and you wanted it to both experience and also a lot of the stuff. If you had an older account, right, you don't get to like you said, experience.
exactly, like I know that every creator has said this, but from a actual player standpoint, this is the best time to get into this game.
Oh yeah.
Like even if the like catch Zeeg event is gone, it's still a good time to get in, because a lot of people overlook and are just like, well, new players are getting all of these cool things, but what about old players and everything like that? Without realizing that the Orbis path is essentially what a lot of the veteran players said, which was to essentially give new players the epic dash from 6th anniversary whenever they start the game. And that's literally what Orbis path is. If you look at it, it's the same thing.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, thank you for that introduction. Let's jump right into it.
All right. So, as I said before, I've never finished story. Like, I think the furthest that I had completed was episode 3.
Mhm.
And if I go to my settings and I go to my calendar check-in, I'm still on my first month of check-in,
Yeah.
because, like I said, I started this account on April 10th, right when the Origin update hit. And in this month's time, and not even a month's time really, but I've been able to complete a lot. In 11 days, I was able to complete all the way up to episode 5,
Wow.
100%.
You said 11
And
days. Very impressive.
yeah, 11 days. I had Aiden's specialty change done fully all the way up to light by then and everything. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, what units did you use? What team did you use? And like, not even joking, now that we get into the units and everything,
Mm-hmm.
the 4 main units that I used was my Brig, because I mean, Brig is just Brig,
Yeah, classic.
like classic. Um, I used Tamarin, again,
Yep.
classic.
Strong PvE heroes for sure.
Mhm. I used, where is she? I used my Free Spirit Tieria, which again, classic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now my 4th one actually may surprise people.
Oh, okay.
My fourth one may surprise people, and it's Vivian.
I could see
Vivian was extremely strong throughout episode 4 and 5 because of her not only her stat line but her abilities and her EE, to the point where between Brieg constantly having a defense down on things,
Yeah.
and her mass hitting her S2, where whenever she defeats something, she just revs it up again, and on the top of
the toilet bowl flush.
yeah, the toilet bowl flush, and on top of that, her getting even more damage on the next attack because of time matter.
Yeah.
It just was nuking everything.
Now, Gothy, was that artifact pulled randomly, or was that from like a selector?
That was a random one that dropped.
Okay, so if would you say, if like players watching this and they want to kind of recreate your team, is that mandatory? Do you have some alternate suggestions, maybe?
I would honestly sit there and say that if, like, obviously Degas Orb was one that came later on, down the line, but as a newer player, if you don't have Degas Orb or Time Matter, Daydream Joker is just,
I think so.
Like if I go to my artifacts right now, and I go to where my Daydream Jokers are, like you can never have enough Daydream Jokers.
Dang,
because
I think you have more than me.
You know, because it's just, it's best in slot.
Best in slot PV artifact. Yeah, the only time I would say time matter might be mandatory is if you're trying to do like some one-shot hunts for Banshee specifically. But yeah, that sounds great. Just a nice kind of addition. Can you show us the exclusive equipment you mentioned?
Sure, no problem. It's this one.
Okay, so you went for the second one, right?
Yeah, because like between pushing her forward and her being able to cycle her S2, like put like her on time with Brieg, it just worked.
Awesome. All right, so that was the team. You showed us the stats. Thank you very much. What else do you got?
I was able to do a Bliss 100.
Nice.
And I think that was in roughly 15-ish days.
Not bad.
I had to dedicate a little bit of that help to Sue, because his guides are just
Now, did you?
I haven't done. Go ahead.
Did you pick Specter Tenebria from your Moonlight selector, or what did you?
I did pick Specter Tenebria from my Moonlight. I have always been in that camp of picking Specter Tenebria, and like I know Ark was Arbiter Villager and everything. I've always liked Specter Tenebria better because she has something in her kit that I feel like a lot of new players need. Because, for example, you have a lot of early game, especially when you're going into the challenging content. You're, as the phrase goes, you're walking through stages, only hitting S1 so you can gather up those souls. And the fact of that Tenebria, when you soul burn her, you can hit her S1, gains another turn. Hit her S1, gain another turn, and it's just a rapid assault. On top of that, you're constantly hitting with poisons. And before you know it, something that was challenging gets heavily crippled or nuked by that.
Right. For anyone watching that doesn't know the poison effect that Gothy's talking about, especially in Abyss with high HP bosses, it has scaling on it. So yeah, like she's saying, it does so much damage. The funny thing though, Gothy is actually, I believe, unless I'm misremembering, Art chose Specter Tenebria too, and we were both just kind of, I was mentioning that a lot of people now are shifting away from her because she lost most of her PvP relevance. But it's very, very cool to see both y'all take her just for that early game PvE, like how much of a monster she is there.
Yeah, like even it like, and I believe you said this in also the previous video too. Even if you choose Specter Tenebria just for the sake of pushing through Abyss, again, either or, either like Arby or Specter Tenebria, they're both relatively good units. Like you can't go wrong with either one of them. I just have a personal soft spot for Specter Tenebria
Yeah.
because that is the unit that I have always used. And also, if you couldn't tell by my icon here, I have huh?
The Tenebria icon, is that what you're showing us?
Yeah, I am a fan of Tenebria.
Okay, makes sense. And you know, the Spectre Tenebria might get buffed later too, so you never know. There might even pay off bigger.
Plus, her EE actually helps her out so much. Another thing that I was able to accomplish, if we go here, you notice all connections are done, which obviously that's episode 5, but all specialty changes are done.
Nice. Now, did you? I know you watched the Arc interview. Did you use any Sky Stones to kind of shortcut?
Nope.
All natural.
It was all natural progression, and and I will say this. This is not something that I don't think will be accomplishable unless we have another event like the Catch the Zeke event, because that free energy in the first week contributed a lot to that.
Gotcha. Talking about with the carrots, right? Could you open that for us so we can just show the viewers?
Sure.
Yeah, that was in week 1, right?
Yeah, week 1 with the free energy.
It was insane.
It was just insane, and to be able to essentially, especially on like stage 8 energy, like energies with stages with 8 energies.
Yep.
You got so much bang for your buck, whether you were AP farming or whether you were in Eulogy or whichever. Like it was insane.
It was very good. Now, guys, those of you watching that maybe missed out on that week 1, or maybe didn't fully capitalize on it, don't worry. It was kind of like we're just showing the peak. Gothy showing us the peak of what can be achieved, but you'll just take a little longer, right, Gothy? It's not going to be the biggest deal. You can still take a lot of tips from this video.
And like I know that there's guides out there saying which are the more useful specialty changes and everything like that. I am just somebody who unfortunately has too much time on her hands when it comes to stuff like this. And I wanted to sit there and see how much I could accomplish in that first overarching month.
All right. Any other stuff that you want to maybe share with us?
Let me see here.
So we finished the connections. We got a ton of gold, Sky Stones, all the story done. Abyss up to 1-1.
Yeah. Hold on. don't be alarmed by the amount of bookmarks that I have.
Okay. Do you want to talk to us about how's your experience been with the summoning? Do you have any advice on what you ended up summoning for, etc.?
So obviously I have Deanne, another one of my favorites. When I first started on Origin, Deanne was out. Deanne is I feel like whether you're new, you're middle ground, or you're end game, Deanne is just an evergreen unit, universal to have. And the fact that she was there, I was just like, let me pick her up because we don't know what's coming down the road.
So you use bookmarks together?
Yes.
Okay. Because right now, in week 4, if you guys are watching this currently, there is a limited hero and artifact selector, I believe, in the carrot shop.
Yep.
So you could grab.
Oh no, this is regular. Coming. The limited was week 3.
Week 3. Okay, well, hopefully y'all.
Which I chose for mine. I chose Seaside Bologna.
Okay, because you already had DN, and I think those were the 2 main ones that recently have been very good.
Yeah, if we go over to my waiting room, which is my waiting room. My summoning has kind of been a little crazy.
I see a successor Teu. Corvus, Abyssal Fiend. Okay, wow, we got a lot. Hellion Lua too. My goodness. And which one of those were from like the guaranteed 5-star? And I'm assuming some of those are just random summons, huh?
Yeah, so some of them were random summons because the thing with the Orbis guide is that they give, or the Orbis path is they give you a lot of 5-star tickets, especially like class specific ones. The Hellion Lua and Rel of Light, I got both of those from the what was it? I believe I got those from the 4 to 5 light and dark summon bookmarks that we got from that week.
Very lucky.
Yeah, right. Let me see here. If I go, boop, boop. Oh yeah, hold on. Get out here. And Successor Teiyu, I got off of free bookmarks, like just regular free bookmarks was one of my first ones. It was just like, it was so funny because it's like, that was my first ML that I pulled, and it was off of free bookmarks. And I'm like, he literally was just here. And so,
it's kind of insane. I don't even have him yet.
Yeah. Dark Corvus was a random galaxy bookmark. My Dragon King Sharoon was from the 5-star light, and then Zeo I just recently got from the dark one.
Okay, great pulls. And what and you Specter Tenebria is the other ML5 in your lineup? Do you have any more that you've been using or no?
I just started working on let me see here. I just started working on Death Dealer Ray.
Gotcha.
Because
okay.
Death Dealer Ray just doing Death Dealer Ray things.
Do you have a plan for him, or is it more for just collection? You're gonna step into some PvP?
I've actually stepped into a little bit of early PvP. If we go to my battle, oh wait, no, probably
it might have been. Was it in preseason where it just
preseason
this last week? Yeah, okay. So you played some in preseason.
Yeah, I had a couple of wins, and I was actually using units like let me go back here. I was actually using units like my Tenebria and Bologna, and I actually squeezed out a win with Mascot Hazel, if people can believe it.
Very cool. And I saw you're actually challenger in arena too. And so real-time arena, which we're talking about, doesn't give any rewards, so that's purely for fun, guys, cosmetic like frames. But Gothy did do some arena. Do you have any tips for new players in that area to get to like challenger?
For regular arena, it'll go. For regular arena, my team that I have been using, I'll just go here. I have been essentially using this specific team because it's kind of tuned to where Vivian will go first. She'll pop her S3, and then either Bologna will go after, or Tenebria will go after, and it's just a bunch of debuffs and everything. When it comes to arena, especially early game, because you're going to be doing a lot of farming, you're going to be getting stigma, you're going to be getting those penguins and everything. When you sell those penguins and you get to like the amount of gold that like I have, honestly, take utilizing of this, because yes, the first one is free, and then you have 30 of them, but like going through those 30s is really chump change compared to the amount of gold that you're going to get. Like, I'm not even joking, in that first week of the Zeeg event, and this is even achievable prior to the Zeeg event, because I was doing this before. Early game, if you don't spend any of your stigma except for on penguins, you'll get around like 2 million stigma just before you hit rank 70.
Yeah, I agree. So that the gold cost is minuscule in exchange for finding a team, right, that we can actually beat even with our PvE sort of early game heroes. Yeah, I agree with that.
Exactly. And then having your units like your Tenebria, your Free Spirit, your Brieger, your Raz, and then a good healer. Just having a good core set of units that excuse me, will put out the damage is very good. The other tip when it comes to climbing through arena that I've noticed is when you click on it,
Mhm.
and look at the rank. Look at the
Oh,
rank, because if you see a lower rank, 9 times out of 10, if they're not 70, they may not have good gear on their team. So, like for example, I'll just try it.
yeah, they're probably a new player like you as well, right?
And I mean, yes, I lost, but still.
This is the bot. Like, I like your just the screen right here, Gothy. I like because we refreshed teams like the top team, while maybe not fully optimized. We still have like all Moonlight 5 stars, and then the bottom team is maybe something you could tackle a little better, right? And guys, just like we were showing here, you will take some L's. You're gonna lose here and there, but that's fine as long as you get
Hmm.
a lot of wins. We just want to make sure we're trying to climb.
Yeah, we'll try it again, and boom.
Boom. Also, one other tip, guys. If I know this will take some learning as well, but the quick battle, it's convenient, but you don't get to implement any of your own targeting. You don't get to press any soul burns, etc. So you may want to stay away from quick battle if you find yourself losing a lot when you're very new.
Not yet. Like you use the quick battle, especially like when you start playing arena, you'll get that sense of like, okay, this is a team that I know I can beat, and then utilize a quick battle. But like Har was saying, when it comes to certain things, like for example, this team, like I don't know if I can beat that during quick battle, but you know what? Maybe I can do it manually
Mm-hmm.
and squeeze out the win. You never know.
Yeah.
The other thing too is never hold on to your early game for those first 30 days. Never hold on to your flags. If you don't find a team in your regular opponents, burn them on your NPCs, because if I go to shop and I go to, where is it?
You're talking about the free flags. I think it's under friendship.
Yeah, the free flags and everything. I've already bought out
It's under the friendship
5.
tab.
Hmm?
Oh yeah. You're saying you bought the conquest ones? I believe there's some in friendship too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 5 flags right there for 100 friendship points.
Yeah, but like the conquest, the way that the game is now, conquest points are a massive finite resource, and that's why the next thing that I was going to sit there and say is, even you were saying that real time arena is cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
A thing that a lot of people don't realize is that even if you do not plan to play in real time arena, still do your placements. The reason being is because now, with conquest points being the only way for us to buy charms
Yeah.
and stuff like that, bronze alone gets you 1,000 conquest points.
Okay, very interesting point. Yeah, when I say more cosmetics is because I think most people, once you reach a certain point, are going to go for at least
Yeah.
masters to get the frame as well as the skin for the RTA unit. And funny enough,
Mhm.
stories, when you climb higher, you actually lose less out on those actual rewards like the conquest points Gothy's mentioning. I believe they
Yeah.
lower that in exchange for those cosmetic stuff. But yeah, great point.
Yeah, and it's like, we just had an epic pass that has, skin tickets or whatever the case would be. And maybe you're a spender, right? And maybe you want skins, but you want to build your units or whatever. You could possibly have the best of both worlds, because okay, maybe it's not a skin that you like, but you know that they're going to put it in the skin shop later on after the season. So if you happen to be a spender, you could purchase skin tickets and stay comfortably in gold or something, and gold will net you 3,000 sky stones, which is a lot of charms if you think about it.
Wait, was it Skystones?
Conquest points.
Conquest
Sorry.
points. Yeah, yeah. No worries, no worries. I was about to say I need to go back to gold if that's the case.
Conquest points. 3,000 conquest points in gold.
Sure,
It's
sure.
1,000 for bronze, 2,000 for silver, 3,000 for gold, and then masters, like you said, is when you get the skin.
Mhm.
But like sometimes those conquest points be conquest pointing, and they definitely can be the make or break, especially when it comes to your accessory charms.
Gotcha. Yeah, charms are very important. All right, Gothy, is there anything besides the PvP now that you want to share with us? I think we covered a lot of the bases. Yeah, we talked about the summonings.
Yeah, pet.
Oh,
pets.
pets. Yeah,
I mean,
take us through the pets real quick.
Yep. So I have my hunt pet, which was my first SS one that I was able to accomplish.
Very nice.
This one still needs a little work, but it's got all of the things for spirit.
Yeah, and guys, even if it's not perfect, like AAS or even just AAA, AAB, right? As long as you're getting some value, you can always try to upgrade it later. It is a little difficult sometimes when upgrading, but yeah, don't worry too much about it.
The other one thing that I don't remember if Ace did touch on, but they do give us a lot of the currency through the Path of Orbis, and a trick that helped me a lot is, for example, you have this D rank right here.
Yeah.
If you go boom.
You're talking about the fishing?
Yeah, the fishing.
Yep.
It's essentially 7 to level it up and synthesize it, because it's 6 to level it up and 1 to synthesize it.
Yep.
And then when you synthesize it, you have a chance for 2 new skills. So like, especially early game, if you're grinding and farming and you're getting that stigma and you're selling it for penguins and you're getting the gold, every week buying out the pet shop, I mean, you have roughly, I want to say, if you count all the skills that are summoned through pets plus the double, you roughly have about 150 chances per week to get an S out of something.
All right, yeah. One of the top tips for sure. And pets in general, just one of the biggest boosts for new players, right, Gothy?
Like, especially this right here specifically, when they have 100% drop rate on spirit, this comes in clutch, because as we all know, there's times where we're trying to sit there and farm for those runes and the one won't drop or another will, and it's just like, man, I really need this specific one or whatever. So it's like having, in my opinion, have your hunt and your spirit are probably the 2 most important ones. Adventure coming in second, because adventure ones at the end of the day, especially now with the way that they've changed it, you're gonna be farming regardless. It may take a little bit more time if you don't have the points, like the extra points for currency or the extra points for catalysts or whatever. But with your hunt, being able to get those crafting pieces and charms and reforge is important, and then also runes are important, especially when it comes to not only building your units but those early game specialty changes.
Sure.
I was also able to complete normal cycle on Asmic.
Okay. Yeah, the not nightmare, but the
not nightmare. Yeah.
Normal rate.
Yeah. Another tip for this specifically, because I actually recently just found this out, but we all know when it comes to regular cycle and nightmare cycle, once you go in and you beat a boss, it's gone forever. But the other thing too, since they've changed the entry costs, is each one of the mini bosses has a chance to drop a bookmark.
Okay.
So with the fact that,
farming?
yeah, a little, you like, honestly, doing a little mini boss farming could benefit, especially for newer players, because it could help get those imprints for certain social changes like Arrowell if you happen to get it.
Yeah.
Or what's another one? Doris. So, but it's like just it's little things like that since the change that you're able, like, new players and even older players are able to take advantage of, because it like we weren't able to do that back when there was an entry cost. It was kind of like, okay, well, I only have this many entry costs, so I have to kind of like beeline it to get it done. But like now it's just like every month you're able to clear out all of the mini bosses, and there's like 25 of them, so that's a lot of chances for bookmarks, in my opinion.
Yeah, great point.
Is there anything that you wanted to see?
I think I asked all the questions, Gothy. You went. We kind of, yeah. I think we covered most of the bases here. Account is looking amazing for the. I believe we said like less than a month, right? 28 days. 28-day progress.
I was able to get Deanne, like, because back when it started on the 10th, I was able to get Deanne. I was able to get Guard Captain Krell and his artifact. And I was able to get Renok in her artifact as well.
Awesome. All right, and we still got like 2,000 bookmarks to spare.
2,000 bookmarks and 20,000 Skystones. So it's set. like I have a pity for the next 3 covenants. So it's like I am good.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of just shows us, right? Gothy, we started this saying this is one of the best times for new players. We're showing that you can have some insane progress if you're efficient. And once again, even if you can't capitalize on the Zeke event that we were talking about with the free energy, if you guys just start anytime here, if you started at all, this is still an amazing time. Take these tips and kind of try to progress, focus on the PvE first and get into PvP. All these account reviews kind of show you where the end goal is, but maybe some slight changes on the journey. Like Gothy here had a lot of different things that she liked to do to excel. But overall, it's a great time to play. So yeah, start now. Better late than never.
Yep. I mean, all of these rewards help, especially, and it's
yeah, I can't
it's insane.
See these, so this is really cool. All right. Well, Gothy, thank you so much for joining us. And anything else you want to leave us with?
I don't think that there's anything else. The only thing that I can say is happy farming.
Happy farming, guys. Peace out, everybody.